Hello, everybody. Thank you for waiting for me. I'm Katrina. This is Sow and Tare live chat. We do this every Monday night, except for the first Monday of the month. We do it on Thursday. So today's Thursday. We're here. Thank you guys for waiting for me. I had computer issues. I still don't know what was the issue, but I restarted the computer and it works. So anyway, let's see how everybody's doing. Going up, going up, going up. You guys were here before me. Jacob's here. Welcome, Jacob. Hello, all. He says, hello, all. Jacob is a Katrina's kit, and we are doing which is a channel member. We are doing our monthly Cook With Me Live, not this weekend, but next weekend on Sunday. So 15th, and we will be making flan or flan, however you want to say it. And it's a really good recipe that I've used several times. It turns out wonderful. It'll be out of this book, and it's basically a bunch of eggs. Get yourself a dozen eggs, sugar, and milk. That's basically it. Anyway, so we are doing that. If you guys want to join us for that, go ahead and there should be a join button down below or a link down below in all the descriptions of all my videos. And Verna's also a member. So awesome. Welcome, Verna. Thank you for telling people that I still existed when I was dealing with my computer stuff. All right. Oh, Jacob's sitting down early for once. Hey, I understand that. It's early it's earlier where Jacob is. Not as early as here. You guys, he's in between us. Late at Verna's, almost 9. Erica's here. Erica is also a member. Welcome, Erica. Hello, everyone. She says, welcome, welcome. Verna wants to know what people's weather's like. Yeah, I did not get the huge storm that all of you guys got so far. It was 61 today. Of course, I was inside working, but it was 61 today. But I think it was like 28 or 29 this morning. So we've been having pretty big temperature shift. It's supposed to get colder again. I don't really know when, but this weekend it's supposed to rain. So we'll see. We'll see what we get. All right, Verna's. Yep. Thank you for telling people I had computer issues, Verna. Steve's here. Welcome, Steve. Steve, how did you like your 4-letter word over there? Your SNOW. I am glad your power's back on and you're good to go because that's no fun. And Steve requested build videos, and this week was all about build videos. I'm going to take a break next week, and well, not a break, but there's going to be one video that's not building the rabbit tractor and one video that is. And for those that don't know what I'm talking about, I pasture raise my rabbits or pasture finish them. Once they go away from mom, they get on pasture and they have a good life there. You get moved twice a day and they're all good. They're all good. So that is what we're talking about. And the rabbit tractor is the thing they're in that gets moved. And I will be having a singular, smaller, shorter build video once all the other videos are out. But what I'm putting out now is a series, and there's a playlist, how to build a rabbit tractor. And it's very detailed. So even if you have never done anything carpentry related, have never done anything like that, you'll be able to understand what I'm doing and be able to apply it to rabbit tractor or other things. So it's more detail oriented. So yeah, but I will be doing after that a full just like build video, just that here's how it gets put together, all that. So so far the ones that are out is how to make a cut list. And so that's figuring out what lengths do you need, what, how far apart should they be, how do you figure out what you need, and how many pieces of lumber do you need, what kind of lumber do you need, all that. And then the video that came out today was all about wood selection, and which is pretty important. So selecting your wood, and then safety and cutting. So then after that, we'll put it all together. All right. Joy is here. Welcome, Joy. Hello, all from Western Oregon. Hope you're doing well. I don't know if you should be getting rain coming this weekend too, right? I think that's most of Oregon. Yeah. All right. Jacob says we got another 2-3 inches of snow today. There you go. Bruce, right? Bruce says, good evening, everyone. Good evening. Verna's calling Brad again. I think it's Bruce. We're going to find out. He'll tell us. He'll let us know. All right. Verna says we got Verna says we got that yesterday or the day before. And Jacob says Steve says to Jacob, that's disgusting, Jacob. The SNOW. We've not recuperated from the last one. Ooh. Yeah. Verna says Verna's getting closer with the name. To turn the choke on my computer. My computer is not that old. It's not that ancient. Okay. Jacob says Steve is got to go play in the skid steer. So that. Okay. There you go. Oh, and Steve says I need a skid steer for a month. Brenna has another guess at Brian. I think it's Bruce. Pretty sure. He'll tell us. Okay, skid steers are very handy tools. You know, I know the name and I know what it is, but whenever I hear the name, I always think of a steer as in like cattle and like skidding. Anyway, that's just me. Me? Somebody else? There you go. Glad I made it. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Verna. If you're not a member, you still have time. You do. You have time. And the people who become members, I mean, you become a member, it's super, super inexpensive. And we cook together every month. And the date for the next time is usually determined the previous time, but sometimes we're like, oh, maybe one of these days. And it's usually on Sunday, although we can do Saturday too. And yeah, it's fun. You don't have to know how to cook. We will do it together. You in your kitchen, me and mine. And it's fun. It's fun. All right. Oh, thank you for the link, Steve. Bruce finally says, yay, Berta. Oh my gosh. 70 at Bruce's house. So I have a coworker who's down near you. And she said it was 80 earlier this week. That's in California. Yeah, it was 61 here today. These are not usual temperatures for those people thinking that the West Coast is warm. These are not normal temperatures, especially not now. In fact, I had a Facebook, like Facebook comes up with like last year on this date, blah, blah, blah. There was snow on the ground last year. Yesterday. Yeah. Probably today too. Beautiful here today, Joy says. Good. Oh, you still don't have power? I thought you said power. Oh, you're at a temporary location, Steve. How long until you have power? Do they know? They have that like. Did you guys get ice and snow, or just snow? Just snow. Did you get that? Like, because ice can really wreak havoc on the power lines, and I'm wondering if that's what happened. Well, I'm glad you're safe. How about that? I'm gonna bring you guys closer so I can sit back, and maybe we'll get some of this purple in the shot here. It doesn't go purple anymore. Oh well, that's purple. It's unimaginable. Is the color. Okay. Jacob says it was 26 for the high today, and tomorrow is supposed to be over 30 degrees for what feels like the first time in over a month. Wow. Thank you, Verna. Verna says you have 2 good videos on rabbit tractor build. Yep. So there's more. It's very detailed. So yeah. Um, Steve says I'm mad at Tommy. He promised to stop. Oh, he failed in that homework assignment. Well, he's in Texas, so I don't know. Are you guys the same latitude? I don't know where in Texas. Yeah. How funny. All right. And Steve says I would love 80 degrees. He got mostly ice, Verna says. Okay, you just got ice. Ice and ice. Now all our 50-foot trees are only 20 feet tall. Did anybody have like exploding trees? I've heard about that, and or did they just like snap off just because it was so heavy? One way to prune your trees, huh? Goodness. Yeah. No, here it's been pretty good. The sap flow is slowing down because it's been so warm. I'm leaving them in. I'm hoping this next cool down will hurry things up a little bit. But I did receive, I not receive, I ordered some and they came. I did get some more taps in the mail. This is for tapping. Well, more maples. I don't have more. I don't have more walnuts to tap. I just have two. Um, and next year I'll be tapping more. And it seems that they do better if they are in the sun. Because my neighbor tapped trees this year, and he did it when they were in his are in the sun, and the one that I did is not in the sun. So I think that's a help. Yeah. But I think it's too late in general to tap right now here. Now, every place is different. It depends on when your temperatures go below freezing and then up above and below and above and below above, all that stuff. Yeah. Okay. So Verna says temp is rising here. Right now it's 18 and tomorrow is going to be 35, then back to 20s for a couple days. Wow. And she says ours did not explode. The weight from the ice just cracked and broke all the limbs. Wow. I don't know what a silver thaw is, but silver thaws can be horrible. What is a silver thaw? I forgot to introduce the moderators. Moderators are Vase Place, which is Verna, and S.O. Swanson, which is Steve, and they are awesome people. Everybody else on here is too. But those are my moderators. Oh, the thing about trees exploding is more clickbait. Yeah, so I mean cracking, they can crack. But yeah. Oh, we may have power at Steve's on Saturday. They were on his street today. Still have 12,000 people without power, and the electric company only serves, half. Yeah, so half that has been restored. That's crazy. Wow. Jacob says we are going to be looking into getting rabbits this year, possibly. We ate rabbit for the first time last week, and it was delicious. It is delicious. It is delicious. And I agree with Verna. You need rabbits. Yeah. So I was going to show you guys something if you're interested today, or I was going to bring it up today, but I'm going to about rabbits, but I'm going to maybe wait a little bit longer into the conversation. So stick around, Jacob. Yeah, definitely watch those rabbit tractor videos if you're going to tractor them. Yeah. You probably already know the woodworking part. All right. Erica says, oh, hi, Erica, again. Says, I'm heading up to northern Indiana this weekend. We finally thawed out down here, and I'm going. Wait, you're going to the cold? Wait. There must be a why. There must be a good reason for going there, right? There's a missing part of the story. Jacob says, I'm not sure what breed to start with and start researching. Yeah, there's a lot of good breeds out there. I am only familiar with the two that I have, and which now I have crossbreeds and or hybrids, and then Percy is a full Black New Zealand. So not black, but any type of New Zealand. So there's New Zealand and Californian are very, very popular meat breeds, and that's because they are very friendly, or can be, and they are large animals. So those are the two you're probably most likely to find. I know that there are others. There's silver foxes. There's um, Amera, American, Amera something. There's creme d'argent. There's lots of different breeds. I know Verna grew Havanas, which are a smaller breed, a smaller meat breed. Um, you do not want Flemish Giant or anything with Flemish Giant mixed into it, because it concentrates on growing bone first. And if you are raising them for food, they're going to be ready by 10 to 12 weeks. And a Flemish Giant is going to not have much meat on it at 10 to 12 weeks. So try not to get any crosses of that or anything like that. But there's lots of different breeds. I don't know. I've only have experience with the breeds that I have. The parents of my breeders, the parents of my does are Parmesan, who was a Californian, and Tortellini, who was a Black New Zealand. And both of them were great. Both of them were great. There is such a thing called hybrid vigor, where when you have a full breed and a full breed and you breed them together, their babies are going to most likely grow faster, grow better, because it's a cross, and it's a thing that happens. But there are a lot of breeds out there, so I suggest looking at who is around you and looking at that. But I'll get into something to show you guys in maybe around 7. We'll see about that. So seems like people come on in the middle and then drop off. So yeah, but we'll look at something rabbit breeding related, around 7. Okay. Yeah, so I would research, Jacob. I would research who is around you, see what breeds they have. So like what's available to you, because you don't really want to go after a breed that is not available in your area unless you really, 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 really decide that's what you want. I personally don't care about pedigree because I raise them for meat. I am not going to be showing them. Percy has a pedigree. I don't know where the paper is. It moved with me somewhere. But it wasn't very long, but it was there. So I wouldn't pay extra for pedigree. Didn't pay extra for him. It was just all their rabbits had that, and they just kind of gave it out. But yeah, so I wouldn't pay extra for pedigree unless you have a reason to have pedigree. Like if you're going to turn it into like, hey, now I'm going to breed this, this variety and sell them under this variety, or if you're going to do shows or something. I don't do any of that, but yeah. All right. Steve says, Erica, thought you were brighter than that heading to the cold. He's not supposed to head to the cold. Steve says, I bought a house on 3/4 acres. I close in 2 weeks with option on another 27 acres. High five. Steve, that's awesome. That is so awesome. I'm sure you have all sorts of plans going on in your head. I would love to hear about them. That is so awesome. Congratulations. Congratulations. Erica says, my dad's 80th was the 28th of January. Mom's 79th is Valentine's Day. We are having a combined birthday celebration for them. That's a good reason to go cold. Okay, we accept this. Valentine's Day is Oregon's birthday. So you can celebrate Oregon's birthday too. And I will be helping someone with bees. while we celebrate Oregon's birthday. Yeah, in that place, Erica, Steve's gives you permission to go to the cold. Yeah. Um, oh, Erica's mom was recently diagnosed with bone cancer. This is likely to be the last birthday we have with her. That is sad. That is sad. I'm glad you're able to go. I'm glad you're able to go and see her. Yeah. Yeah, and Verna says, blessings for your mother. Yep, absolutely. Verna is talking about bunnies. Says be careful about buying adult rabbits. They may sell you those at the end of their breeding age. Better to get freshly weaned. Um, it's all going to depend on what's available in your area, and you want to check them. So you check their teeth. You just go like that down on their mouth and expose the teeth, because rabbits can have teeth issues. They need a chewing stick, no matter how tiny it is. Percy's is pretty small right now, because their teeth grow forever. So if they already have issues with the dentition, then that could have a problem later. Check their feet, make sure they have good fur on the back feet, and then check their gender. If you don't know how, I have at least one video that shows how. And I think Steve found it last time to put in here. I think we searched the word gender. Try that again. Um, and there is something where some males, I've never seen it, but some males can have a forked one, and that's not what you're looking for. If you're looking for possums, then the answer is that is what you're looking for, but not in rabbits. So yeah, I recommend reviewing that video to see how to do that. And the person who is selling it to you should be able to like do the action, show you what's going on, and but you should visually verify what is going on down there. So um, I waited until my breeders are 7 months old to breed. They should be, I forget what percentage of their total weight. My adults right now, so just so you know, like adult expectations for adult rabbits in the meat field, um, all of my breeders are around 10 pounds, like slightly below, slightly above, something like that, but they're all around 10 pounds. So a 10-pound, thank you, Steve, a 10-pound adult is a pretty good size. Um, yeah. Yeah. Um, Taco's a female, Burrito is a male. Yep. And you can click on that link. How to ID male and female rabbits. That's what I named it. You have to, you want to name things on YouTube, certain things, and they're like, no, that's a name that's gonna flag whatever. Yeah. So, I mean, you may also go with, oh yeah, this has had one litter, like they're proven, or they're not proven. Um, when I got my original rabbits, Parmesan and tortellini, full breeds each, and they'd already had litters together, and Meatball and Ziti, who are also breeders, were their daughters. So I had a family group. You can line breed in rabbits. Should not do sibling to sibling if you're saving. If you're going to save breeders, you should not do sibling to sibling. Um, Basically, how I have done it so far, and I probably will continue to do it this way, is save back females and replace my male from outside. That it worked good this time. You know, so I'm thinking that that's going to be the direction I go. So yeah. Um, yeah. Lots of videos about bunnies on here, rabbits and all that. So you definitely have good source here. And several people in the chat who have raised or currently raising rabbits. So people are on here now, people are that are on here, a different time. So definitely any questions you have, put it up there. And also, we have the Friends of Sow and Tare Facebook group. So you can go ahead and go in that and post questions about that too. So I feel like we are. I feel like my videos right now are pretty rabbit heavy. I'm trying to even that out, but I'm not doing a very good job on it. um, I will be starting seeds soon, so that will be helpful. I will be doing some other things soon, um, but I also want to make sure that you guys have kind of good information about the rabbit tractor building and what's going on with the rabbits and all of that, because I know several of you are interested. There's a couple people who are new to rabbits this year, so that's good. Yeah. So Bruce is asking, are male rabbits cheaper to buy than females? Depends on where you're getting. Yeah. Totally depends on who is there and what they're doing and all of that. Depends on if they're pedigreed. I've only bought rabbits twice. So I bought my initial ones. And boy, that was a steal. It was very cheap because she needed to get rid of them. She was had just graduated high school, and her 4-H rabbits setup. I got the whole setup with 3 does and 1 buck, and their hutches and hay and a garbage can full of food and for $250. So that was a steal. I think I paid, I want to say 60 for Percy, and he is pedigreed, but it doesn't really matter. I don't know what paperwork is. Paperwork meaning it's one piece of paper with a family tree. He has a tattoo in his ear. But yeah, so it totally depends where you get it from. And also, I would say it probably depends how old you get them. And just from my experience raising rabbits, I highly recommend choosing a rabbit. If you are choosing, so when I got Percy, there was 3 rabbits. 2 of them were broken, which is the splotchy. So they were white and black splotchy, which are cuter. I think they're cuter. I mean, they're fun colors. Um, and then Percy was all black. They all had, well, 2 of them had high quality body shapes. They had nice round butts, they scrunch together, nice round. Um, they had, they're all very healthy. The other one was a little bit smaller. They're all from the same litter. And I chose Percy because he seemed to be more personable. He seemed to be like more I mean, they're all very well handled. But he seemed to be more, I don't know, like personality and pissiness. You want to weigh those because you're going to be dealing with this animal for the rest of its life. And some people that they might say, oh no, it all just matters, like the shape of the bodies matters and I don't care how they act. You're going to at some point care how they act. Rabbits can throw things with their mouth. They can dump over water bowls. They can move their mats. They can do this. They can do that. Um, and they can do all these things. Ravioli used to act out. She hasn't since we've been here, but she used to act out when her sister next to her, when Rigatoni would get the first attention or the last attention, because I had to give Ravioli the first attention and the last attention between the 2 of them. And she would turn her water sideways, and it would drip because she knew that I would have to reach into the hutch to turn it back, and that she would get pets. So she's a sweetie. That's the only reason actually why she did not go to dinner. Um, I was only going to keep one, and Rigatoni was the largest of the females in that litter. But then Ravioli, she would come up for pets and come up for pets and come up for pets, and she was very, very friendly. So I kept her. Now, don't keep all of them like that, but it was a good thing I did because then Meatball died, unfortunately. But I advise you looking at the personality and the tameness of the rabbit as a quality. And that's just my personal perspective. Okay. Steve says, Katrina, if you want to do other videos, you need other animals. Hint, hint. Yeah, I mean, I will tell you my electrical stuff that was on a hiatus for a while is happening this month. So once that happens, I can take I feel comfortable taking a extension cord to a shed and that becoming um, both plant starting area and hatching area. But I do need to do the fence up there before I really start about thinking about hatching, and that would be chickens. I'm not ready for the quail yet because the quail thing, the infrastructure is not there yet. But yeah, I did actually get some more information about the food forest stuff. And once my electrical lines are undergrounded, trees can come down, and because there's no point in doing that until the electrical lines were undergrounded. So that can happen later this month. I need to have people out and actually decide what to do about that. And then I can start food forest stuff. I now have I'll do a video about that, but I now have kind of the order of operations for food forest stuff as far as notifying people of different things, because there's a whole bunch more people that need to be involved than I ever thought. Not a whole bunch, it's like a few different places that need to know what I'm doing, and does change my tax standing and like how it does and when it does and all that. So yeah, just trying to figure out how to do that. But I think I've called everybody and asked all the questions and gotten all the answers. I just need to put together the plan. All right. Thank you for the Friends of Sow and Tare link, Verna. You guys can join that, answer all the questions, and accept that you're going to do the rules. Otherwise, you don't get in. All right. Steve says, I don't believe in rabbit pedigrees as there is no real system for documentation. You have to take everyone at their word. That's exactly it. I mean, a pedigree, all a pedigree is a family tree. So I don't do shows. I may be completely ignorant of this, but I would assume that you could register a rabbit like you could register a dog or a horse. I just don't know how often that's done. And it's not in conjunction, as far as I know, it's not in conjunction with being pedigreed, but I could be totally off. It's not something that's important to me. Yeah. It's important to me that they're healthy and that they breed well and that they are friendly. Exactly like Verna said, friendly. Verna says, screaming doe and charging does are the things you don't want. Yeah, and I did go through something with Penne. It took me, what, a year? A little more than a year to figure out that she didn't see well and that she was not picking up on the audible cues that I was there and I was going to pet her. Talking with her wasn't working. So now she's cued into my voice now. She wasn't though for the longest time, and I didn't know why. So there could be reasons other than they're not nice. You know, they might be having issues of their own. So yeah. Tommy's here, the Aquatic News Network. Welcome. Howdy, Earthlings, he says. Howdy. Steve's mad at you. Let's just start off with that. How are you doing in the frozen South? All right. Erica says, I'm going to have to go for tonight. Time to go back. Good luck. Drive super, super safe and have a good visit. Yep. Yep. Tommy says I hooked up an electric panel for my shed and add on so I would have absolute power that's protected. That you have absolute power. Um, but I know how to do it. So that a huge help and money saver. Electric wire is expensive. Yeah, yeah. Well, good luck with that. I hope it's been working for you. I hope you're not frozen. Yeah. Robin's here. Hello from Chicagoland. Hello, Robin. I hope you're doing well, and I hope you're not frozen. Um, yeah, hopefully you're not frozen. All right. We're rabbit heavy in the conversation today, which is completely fine. And I do have something coming up, but let's do it at 7 that I'm going to share with you guys about rabbits. All right. Tommy says, "Hi, Auntie Brett. So sorry. I work on Saturdays. I know I've been missing her lives too. Verna has a live chat every Saturday morning and Wednesday afternoon. Um, I have been doing things during those times. I've been doing videos. I was doing the build stuff for a while. The 2 videos you guys saw this week is actually from May. I found out that it didn't get lost. That one didn't get lost. The one before that did. And then I was building, the rest of that one. That's right. I started a project in May and finished it in January. Yeah. All right. Tommy says I'm also working a collab with the dinosaur omelet. Awesome. Awesome. And y'all gonna love that. I really think it's going to be perfect juxtaposition between the quail and homesteading world and the aquatic one. Ooh. Are you does it have to do with poo? Yeah. All right. A frozen south is thawed. Good. Gonna be like 80 tomorrow. Yeah, we were just talking about that. It was 61 here today. I had a coworker in California say that the other day it was 80 down there. Bruce on here said it was 70 in his neck of the woods. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, I did catch that absolute power. I almost said it with an echo. Should I have said it with an echo, or did I make up that what would an echo be? It's not bold, it's not italicized, it's echo. Tommy's no longer Steve's weather savior. Exactly, I know. He let that storm slip right by him. uh Steve doesn't have power, but he's in a place that has power right now. That's the catch up for Tommy. Uh Tommy says, all my fish lived in the shed. The ambient temp in the shed was in the low 40s, and I tropical made it. I've learned tricks. Awesome. Did you load it with plants? So I think we talked about that before on here, where if you load up the water with plants, that the oxygenation helps with cold. Did I just make that up? Or am I remembering something from last year? Let me know, Tommy. All right. Verna's back. Tommy says, "Is it my fault the Earth turned on the AC?" I mean, I kind of get it. If that's the case, I accept my fate, Steve, and I also accept the consequences that come with it. No, I think you said that you were going to catch a storm and hold it there. That's at least what he says. I could be misquoting. Desiree's here. Hi, Anime Cream Curator. Welcome, welcome. Hope you're doing good. How are your chicks? And Buster's here. Hey to all. Welcome, Buster. How is your coldness down there? Hope you guys are doing good. This storm is not a yeah, it's not. Okay, Anime made a pancake with quail eggs this morning. Awesome. Awesome. I'm sure it was good or very small and good. Did you make pancake or pancakes? Um, yeah, no, that's awesome. Good, good. Tommy says it has to do with poop for sure. I knew it. It always does. And many other things. He talked about it on his live 2 weeks ago. Awesome. Not letting cat out of the bag. Okay. Okay. Are you going to nitrate farming from runoff? How it affects farm life, aquatic life. Okay. Got it. Awesome. That's going to be a valuable thing. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely froze at Tommy's. Got lucky. The shop that he works in, not so much. They had metal and Schedule 80 PVC that busted. Meanwhile, have Schedule 40 at my house. That's okay. Sometimes if it's, if you have insulation around things or like the crawl space is going to be slightly warmer. Yeah. It sounds wonderful, Verna says. Oh, your birds aren't stupid. They're just learning. One large pancake for Desiree. In the rice cooker. I have never heard of such a thing. Hopefully it was good. Oh, 70s at Buster's Place. Man. 21 at Verna's. And Buster says, I don't want that weather. We heard about iguanas flying, if not flying, falling from the trees in Florida because they get too cold, they don't move, and they just lose their grip. And I was thinking, how do you call in that health insurance? I was knocked out by an iguana. Like, how do you call that in? It's a very odd thing. Anime says the pancake turned out like a cake, which I may try next. Very moist and fluffy. I've never owned a rice cooker, but I've also never heard of cooking anything but rice in it. So that's pretty cool. Steve says, I remember the old days when it used to be 70 here. Oh my goodness. So did you guys get your second storm, or is the second storm on the way? Because wasn't there supposed to be a second storm that went through the middle of the country? Or am I making that up? And if I'm making it up, I'm sorry. don't need to traumatize you guys. Tomorrow, shorts and t-shirt weather at Tommy's. It was 61 here today. In Texas, where weather changes so much, it just keeps us sick enough to wonder what the heck is happening and when summer will hit again. We'd rather suffer in the heat than be sick the rest of the season. Oh, so if you haven't done this already, you might want to just pick it up because it'll take 6 weeks to make. Get some fire cider. I'm sure someone sells it. But yeah, fire cider, it's good stuff. And it works. And it's very healthy and it tastes nasty. But it does work. So that's my recommendation. Yeah. And his only problem is I lost all my measuring cups. Did someone borrow them perhaps? It's pretty funny. Time to get new ones. Robin says 30 degrees here, 1 inch of snow overnight forecasted northwest of Chicagoland or northwest of Chicago. Awesome. Well, that's better than some people on here that have gotten super, super, super cold. Oh my goodness. You had to use a half a teaspoon to measure everything. I mean, at least it was a quail pancake. Oh my goodness. Okay, Verna says we got the second storm, got 3 inches the other day. Okay, so the second storm was just like, and that was done. It wasn't much to add. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. You just got Jacob's temperatures down here. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh, you did. So anime is making half a pancake recipe instead of a whole batch. It's still you did 1 teaspoon measurements up to a cup of flour. That is a lot. That is a lot. Once you've made pancakes several times, you can just feel it out. Just remember what the ingredients are, or see what the ingredients are, and you can feel it out, and you should be able to make a batter that works. And I mean, you can add different things into your batter too. I mean, you can, instead of, is it usually milk? Instead of milk, you could buttermilk or some other liquid. You could use applesauce, probably. Try it. Yeah. You also made omelets in the rice cooker. Okay. This is something I have not experienced. Oh, someone keeps cooking, stealing your cooking stuff? Goodness. Tommy says, we had an amazingly huge cast of hawks come through this past week. The weather was in transition. Seriously saw 30 or 40 of them all working together. Do you know what kind? You didn't grab your camera. Yeah. 36 half tablespoons of flour. Oh my gosh. Desiree. Yeah. So there are hawks that migrate, and there's hawks that kind of stick around. And some migrate in groups and some migrate individually or in small groups. And I know, like, the Swainson's hawk, that's one that is a threatened species in California, at least. My work is in California still, so that's where I know statuses of things. But that is a species that breeds in the US and then there's different populations, either goes to Mexico or Argentina to overwinter. In Argentina, they're called the grasshopper hawk because they eat grasshoppers in the fields. And why their population is low, why they're a threatened species, is in Argentina in the times of DDT, which is a horrible, horrible pesticide. They were affected by DDT. So they were eating all the grasshoppers that were being killed by the DDT. And people would say that you would be able to follow the dead hawks to the roost because so many of them were dying. So that was during a time where DDT, the United States produced it, but it was illegal to use here. And we produced it and sent it to other countries for them to use and poison everything. So that's not a good thing, not a good practice. They don't use it anymore, as far as I know, and population is recovering. So yeah, they still are very unskilled at building nests. But yeah, that's a secondary oopsie. Red-tailed hawks. Okay. Okay. A $400 rice cooker. Oh my gosh. Oh, but you got it for 36. Missing some stuff. Okay. Hey, as long as it can make what you want to make. Steve says, it got so cold here, I picked up 4 frozen blackbirds out of the front yard. Really? They just didn't make it. They just gave up on being. That is crazy. That is crazy. Tommy says, brown and white. Beautiful plumage is the word you're looking for. Foliage is leaves on trees. Plumage is feathers on birds. Beautiful plumage, reddish and white breasted like a male quail. Yeah, they have it's called a belly band, even though it's kind of up here, but it's called a belly band. Yep, they are pretty. Steve says, I wouldn't know one blackbird from another other than it was large. So it was a black bird, not a blackbird. Well, that's very sad. I don't like to know that's going on, Yeah, a crow or a raven. Could be. Do you guys get grackles? Because that's another, they have long tails. That's another big blackbird. Oh. Mr. Ringo is meowing at something. I'm gonna check on him really quick. Maybe. Is he done yelling? I'm gonna check on him real quick. I'll be right back. Ringo, what do you need? No? Well, guys, I don't see anything. Both Ringo and Mama Kitty are sitting on the bench on the porch, so I don't know what's going on, but maybe there's another kitty to talk to out there, or perhaps a fox. I don't know. Okay, where did my... There it is. Okay, back to the conversation. I always like to, let him know that yes, I will come out there if he's trying to get me to come out there at, for some important thing. So sorry about that. Okay. Tommy says, I have friends that are total nerds and falconry. If I didn't know what type of pocket was, I wouldn't have any friends at this point. What? Hawk it. That's a whole typey thing, and especially if you're typing on the phone, it always corrects you. There you go. There we go. Okay. Oh, talk to text. Desiree says chicken or chick hen is getting sick of the rooster because he keeps jumping on her. Yeah. You may want to give her a break. Yeah. Plumage, yes, but they look like leaves, so it's fitting metaphor. Okay. Belly bean band. Belly band. Versus, that's why I told you need more hens. Yeah. Oh, so are you talking about a quail chick? I mean, I don't know. Is chickens 10 to 1? I've never had a rooster chicken. For quail, it's basically, 5 to 1 ratio, female to male. And that can be adjusted based on, their energeticness. Yeah. Bald or feathered head? I don't know who you're asking. Oh, the grackle? No, they're all black. They're black iridescent, and there's different kinds of grackles. And Tommy gets grackles. All right. Turkey hawks and crows. I don't know what a turkey hawk is. That might be something that doesn't occur here. Oh, are the big black buzzard looking things. Turkey vulture? We have turkey vultures here. I don't know what a turkey hawk is. Oh, Brenna says turkey vulture too. Yes, turkey vulture. You're having trouble with words today, Tommy. That's okay. Steve says, driving here, I saw 10 turkey vultures all standing on the ground, staying out of the wind and cold. They were not eating, just standing around. Yeah. They don't have to eat every day either. Oh, the male is just being annoying, Desiree says. Okay. A surma. Okay. Got it. Tommy, type slower. Oh, their breast shape is shaped like a bean. Okay, got it. Chickens are 12 to 1. Okay, where did I get 10 to 1 from? Yeah. Oh, you don't have failure here. It's just a typing process, right? Today was a lot. I'm sorry, Tommy. You can chill. This is chilling. And we're going to get into something about rabbits here after I read this comment. Work in a shop where we do oil changes. Our system was completely shut down. Oh, no. You couldn't tell what type of oil or how much oil that filters anything on oh, my goodness. Yeah, that doesn't sound fun. That does not sound fun at all. Okay, I have to reopen it because the computer made me restart. So let me reopen this. And hopefully Jacob's still on. And anybody else who wants to raise rabbits or is looking at how to kind of do this, And that is to look at this one. That's to look at a breeding schedule. So I have this all set up. If you guys don't know Excel, having Excel knowledge is really, really good. And if you don't have the knowledge, you say, I wish a formula existed that does this. It does. You just have to figure out what it is. And you can do awesome things. So here is my breeding schedule for the year. I start the year as a breeding year, which starts in the fall and goes through. So it's not by like annual year, because this is the breeding season, and then the summer there's a break, and then the next one is breeding season. Anyway, so I have up here my does. I only have one buck, so I don't even put that information. I do put his name here just in case. I color code mine. I work with color. Other people might work with something else, but we have a category, and that's important because category has to be clicked in some places, and it doesn't in some places. So this is important. So let me go through this really quick and just show you what it is. Can you guys see my mouse? I'm just going to ask that really quick. Can you guys see my mouse? I think you can. Somebody jump in. Jacob's making dinner. Okay, good. So we have our buck in this column, our doe in this column. They're color coded by the doe. We have our breed date here. And those are there's very few things you have to enter in this. And those are some of the things you have to enter. So a breed date is October 19. This box right here that's nest box day 26. I need to change it to day 27, I think, but it's okay. I've been going on day 27, but this is day 26. So this formula here, if I click in here, it'll highlight C8, which is this date, plus 26. You can put in a date and say, I want to know this many days out from that date, and it will come up with a date. So that's pretty dang cool. That is really, really cool to know, because I can say, oh, when do I, I remember it was October 19, or maybe I don't remember, I have to look it up. When do I put that in there? Oh, let me count the days. It's about a month, it's but it's short of a month. When do I put the nest box in? And it's already there. So not only that, but you can use the same formula for the expected due date, which is day 30. Again, you go up here, it's the breed date, C8, plus 30. And so that is the expected day that you're going to have kits. Your mama's going to kindle, and then she'll have kits. You put in the actual birth date, which, as you can see, is usually either on the day or a day off. So it's going to be fairly consistently, usually day 30 or 31. And that's something you enter. And that is just information. And then this becomes the base moving forward. So we know what day they had them on, day 31, day 31, 31, 31, 29, 30. These guys are pregnant right now, so it has a random, I don't even know where that number comes from. But there is no information here, so it has just random stuff in there. But it's pretty cool that you can do that. I type in how many alive, how many dead, and then I added this column this year, number dead in a few days, because there sometimes are young that are born alive that are just tiny. And in this case, both Ravioli and Rigatoni had one that was just tiny, and it lasted a couple days, and it died. So I don't really want to count that as a death on arrival. I feel like it does deserve a different column. Doesn't matter in my math at all. No, but there you go. If you wanted to put any notes, you could put notes. So Percy is the male. He's the buck. All of his babies have been black, and they have little little white hairs sometimes. All of his babies have been black. When I had Parmesan as the buck, and he was Californian, and Tortellini as the doe, who is Black New Zealand, she had babies that look like him and babies that look like her. In this case, all the ones that are being produced look all the same. They're all the same color. But right here is where I put notes like, 3 white and 3 black or whatever. If they didn't kindle, if they didn't give birth within this amount of time, then I say rebreed, and then I say, yes, rebreed. And then I go to the next line and fill that out. Haven't had to do that this time yet. I'm going to check in with you guys because I can't see you guys. Okay. So we see the mouse. Yes. You need a few error traps and you wouldn't get random. What? What's an error trap? And what am I doing random? Let me know what that means, Steve. Anyway, so that's what I do. I use the actual birth date to get when is 3 weeks old. So 3 weeks old, go up here, click in the top. We have F8, which is the actual birth date, plus 3 times 7. 7 days in a week, 3 weeks. That's what that means. And those are in parentheses. And we get the answer, okay, on December 10th, they're ready to breed. Well, I didn't breed her till December 16th down here, which is fine. But they're ready to breed when the babies are 3 weeks old. When they're 5 weeks old, they are ready to wean. So this is where these are the dates that you want to pay attention to, because these are the dates where you do things on. Just like the date for the nest box. You need to put the nest box on this date. You don't need to breed them here, but you can. They're available to breed them on 3 weeks when the babies are 3 weeks old. The babies go out to pasture or into the grow out pen at 5 weeks old. So I just have a little section here for notes, which is always good to have a place to put things, and you don't have to create it in your spreadsheet later. 8 weeks old. I haven't done this. I did this with a few litters when I was at my old place. I haven't done this though. But 8 weeks old, hey, let's have a weight check. Oh, is it time to process or not, or whatever. I haven't done this part in a long time. When are they 12 weeks old? So again, this goes back to, here's the formula here. This is F8, which is the birth date, and then plus, in parentheses, 12 times 7. So 12 weeks. And so that's really helpful. Notes, we have a butcher date just for data collection. That's going to be, so February 11 or 12, because I'll do them at the same time. These guys are in the same tractor right now. So February 12 is coming up. So sometime during that time, or probably not during that weekend, they're ready to harvest. And so I'll put the actual date of butcher here, and then number sold alive, number butchered, number sold processed, number put down. I haven't said anything about this on my channel yet. I did have to put one down. My neighbor's dog has come back 3 times to try and get into the rabbit tractor. She thinks it's great fun. It's just, if she slips out, we know where she's going. But this most recent time, she actually dragged, she got a hold of part of the wood of the tractor and dragged it, like it was like this, and it dragged it like that, and it dislocated one of the rabbit's legs completely through the skin as well, and broke another of it, broke a front leg as well. So I did end up putting that one down. My neighbor paid me for the rabbit. We're good. We're on good terms. Another rabbit was injured. I didn't tell them this, but another rabbit was injured in it, but it seems to be doing well. So that this is the first time I've ever had to do that. So, but it happens. So put it in there, right? And then you want to have notes here. So like the note here is tractored with raviolis, because this is Rigatoni's line. Had to process one in week 9 due to neighbor's dog. And then the other one says, see notes from Rigatoni above. So, yeah. So these two are tractored together. I have notes that basically to say that they're tractored together and all that. But then what you have here, so that's a pretty good schedule to keep. What I can do with these categories, and again, you can look this up. I don't remember how to do it. I just remember I looked up how to do it and I did it. But you can say how many kits in this season has Ravioli had? How many has Penny had? How many have all these ladies had? And there's the formula stuff that you do. If then statements, learn them. I'm just sharing this here so you can identify that there is a formula to use. You can look it up. But basically what this is saying is of these things here, of these names here, if they are ravioli, then this formula. And this formula is a total of these. So you're basically saying the blue, of the things in the blue highlights, add them together. Okay. Anyway, so that's how we do it, and I just thought I'd show you that, and hopefully it was helpful, or at least sends you on your way to knowing that you can have a formula put together for that. I do have one for quail as well that I haven't touched in a very long time. I can show you what I did for that too. Okay, Howie's here. Welcome, Howie. Good evening, Earthlings. He says, welcome. Okay, Steve says the formula is what do you want it to do, then say how you would do it, and that is your formula. Easier said than done. Exactly. So looking, like, you can say, I want to know this, and then you have to like figure out how to word it to see how to actually get that formula to work. So yeah, there is some back and forth that you have to do, and there's a lot of Googling and a lot of, there's what do they call them? Forums out there that'll have all this on it. But it is helpful to have, and you can do that for planting times. You do that for planting and harvest for your garden. You can do that for a whole bunch of different things. So just use Excel is what I'm saying. Amy's here. Welcome, Amy. Just bebopping through to say hi on the way to bed. Well, good night, and thank you for stopping. Sleep fast. Yeah. So yeah, I'm going to show you guys this. Is there any interest in seeing some sort of quail spreadsheet that I made? I don't know. Oh, Steve is volunteering to answer all of your Excel questions is what I said. That's how I read what your comment is, Steve. Steve says, if you have Excel questions, you can always ask the Facebook group. I have some experience and glad to assist if needed. Awesome. So Steve is volunteered. So that's the Friends of Sow and Tare Facebook group. I'm going to just show you quickly. And I have not used this in quite a while because I haven't had quail in quite a while. So, but this was my quail one. So I had number hatched, number cell alive, number cell processed. There's some information. If there was any natural hatching with the aviary or raviary attempts, and then hatch chicks. And then start and collect eggs, date, set, so start collect eggs, you want to make sure it's 7 to 10, it's less than 7 to 10 days from the first collection. So date you set eggs, and then you can say that date plus 15, because that's when lockdown is lockdown. And then expected hatch date, it's the same thing, you're just adding numbers to the date. Actual hatch date, how many hatched, and then it's 1 week old, 3 weeks old, 4 weeks old, 8 weeks old. That's the butcher time, and then when is the butcher date, all of that. So it's you can do this for anything, and it can be very valuable. And it's once you have the formulas in there, you don't have to do it again. You just drag the formula down, and it's fine. So I encourage you guys to use Excel. I know there's other, what's the alternative to Excel? There's other ones out there. I know Apple has their own, and I think there's a free one. What's the free one online called? I don't remember. It's called something. I don't remember what it's called. But there is a free version. It's not Excel. It's called something else, but I think it does everything that Excel does. I think it starts with L. Don't know why I think that. Don't know why I think that. Yes, LibreOffice. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. So Google Sheets is also available, but that one you have to have a Google account for. LibreOffice, I don't think you have to have anything for. Someone introduced me to it, and I don't even remember how much time I spent on it, but yeah. I'm used to Excel, and I got the program when I got my computer. Before that, I was using the one from 2007. And it was working great. Yeah. I had to get an external CD drive to load it onto my last laptop because it didn't have a CD DVD thing. It didn't have that. Somewhere I have an external drive. I don't know where. It's packed somewhere. I still have things packed, guys. My house is not put together yet. I know it's been over a year. Okay, Steve says you can register any existing email address like Yahoo or Hotmail to create a Google account. Okay. Yeah, Verna. I agree. The older programs worked easier than the newer ones because they didn't mess with things. If it works, leave it alone. And guess what? If you're going to add things to it, don't move things. Just add things to a different spot or to something. Don't take this and move it over there. That was my whole thing. And what happened to Clippy? You never had to go on the internet for any question because Clippy was always there. But Clippy is no longer, I believe. Yeah. Anyway, so that was what I wanted to share with you guys is one, that you can have this in a very simple, reachable, easy thing to use and to read. And that if you have the formulas in there already, you don't have to do it again. And like you can even copy that whole sheet into a different sheet and all the formulas will come with it. You can actually put into your formula from another sheet or from another file, as long as the file still resides in the same place next time it tries to access it. So there's a lot of things you can do. Yeah. Desiree says Adobe recently got bad backlash for trying to shut down animate. I don't know. I don't use it to animate things. I don't animate things. Interesting. Yeah. So Steve says you can track things like births, and it can alert you if the average starts dropping. Yeah. Yeah, you can do all sorts of math on there, and you can say, like, what did I do recently? What did I don't even remember what oh, I remember what I did. It's something for work. You can do I don't remember the formula, but you can do, like, if you're getting close to a number, like I was doing something for budgeting, and if you're getting like, you can figure out if this box is uh less than or equal to this number, make it highlighted green. If it is less than this number, make it highlighted red. Like, you can put the different colors in there as well. So you can do a lot of different things. Yeah. Um, it's not shutting down anymore, huh, Desiree? Uh, Steve says Adobe purchased a great database and spreadsheet program and shut it down the day they bought it. Ooh. Yes, thank you. Conditional formatting. And I had to find out where that was, and you can type it in. Yeah, you can type it in now into the search thing in Excel, and it'll come up with the conditional formatting. Yeah. I should have just asked you, Steve. It was pretty easy to find. It was pretty easy to find and pretty easy to do. I just had to formulate the right words in the search engine, right? You always have to figure out what words it wants to hear, not what you want to say. Yeah. So, but yeah, that can be used for lots of different things. It can be used for gardening too. So, like, if excuse me, if you have pepper plants and you plant them on X date, you should expect to see them come up by X date. Because otherwise, you're going to go in there every day and go, "Are you up yet? Are you up yet? Oh, are you up yet? Oh, I haven't checked on you in 2 days. Are you up yet?" And if you know when it's supposed to be up, just, you putting that on a calendar is fine if you're growing one thing. But if you're growing more than one thing, yeah, that's an issue. um, you can't put that. You could put it all on the calendar, but it's gonna be very hard to track. So it's better to, if you do want to track it, to do it that way. And you can also do, um, you could look at fruiting for trees that way, like year to year. The first fruit was on this date, the last fruit was on this date. I started an Excel sheet. I don't even know what I saved it under for stuff out here. So, like the blackberries and hazelnuts and stuff. And I started that, and I don't remember where I saved it. It's on the computer somewhere. So it's a good way to, excuse me, it's a good way to track changes, and as well as have a heads up on when things are happening. Now, the key to all that is actually using it and filling it out. That is where I have failed time and time again with the whole when things are fruiting. I had this system set up for my old place where I had over 50 fruit trees, and I was like, okay, and I had every single plant that I had planted, which is a lot, not plant, but every single species variety, that I planted as like a long-term planting. So I didn't do like broccoli and stuff like that, but like the different fruits, the like when is the spearmint blooming, when is the marjoram, like all the different things. And it's pretty cool. But you do have to keep on it. And there are all sorts of things you can purchase for that. Uh, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah. So, how do you guys track things? I know there's so much wisdom. I don't want to go to bed, Amy. Aw. Aw. I know there's hatching apps, like applications you can put on your phone or whatever that tracks hatching stuff, that gives you alerts. And I don't know if you have to pay for any. I mean, I know you have to pay for some of them, but I don't know if there's any free ones or not. But if you have it active, like, I don't know if you guys realized what was that this was all in the same thing. So the quail hatching, rabbit breeding, pros, product cost sheet, 20, sales, expenses. This is all in the same document on different sheets. So you only have to open up one thing. Now, the thing is to email this to yourself every once in a while, because in case something drops, you have the most, a somewhat recent one. Yeah. Amy says, I can totally dial in my property, quail, rabbits, garden, veggies, orchard. Yep. Ooh, Verna has the Chayoga beet seeds in. Awesome. You're going to love them. You're going to love them. I love the greens. The greens, they have like the pink reddish stem, and they're much less earthy than other beets. The greens are much less earthy than other beet greens, and they're a little bit sweeter, and they're really, really good. And I believe that is what my giant beets that I grew at my old place, that they ended up, when they flowered, they would be taller than I can reach. The last year I was there, and yeah. Soon as your pots get there, you'll be planting them. Awesome. So Verna, I don't know why, but on your shorts, I'm not able to comment. Like, it's been a thing that's been going on, and I don't know why. It's just on your shorts. Um, but yeah, I saw your sweet potato one that you split. You split off the babies. Um, they're not called babies. I'm just calling them that. And I thought, that is so cool. Every time you do it, I'm like, that's so cool. I want to do that, and then I don't do it. Yeah. Steve says you can do breeding on one page, feed on another, track your cost per rabbit, know who's costing you more than they should. Yeah, if you're feeding that way, right? So like the ones that I'm keeping track of as far as feed goes, like feed costs and how much they cost to raise, unfortunately, was the tractor that I had to process one of them early. I did approximate how much feed there was at the time and left in the container at that time, and I'm going to try and approximate how much the animal would have eaten. It just makes math extra mathy. Yeah. Yeah, but you can also, so what Steve was saying, you can do different things and look at it in grand scale or at micro scale. And you can also reference the other pages. So like I can say, oh, I want to take this information from over here and this information from over here and get a summary. You can literally have a summary sheet. I used to track, I used to very, very detailedly track my expenses. Didn't have much at the time and needed to know exactly where money was going, and have budget for every category of thing. And I did have a summary sheet that I could reference. I had monthly sheets and a summary sheet. Yeah. All right. Tasty, Amy says. Robin says chayoga are great. No bleeding like a red and less earthy flavor. Have you ever tried Badger Flame or another golden? Those are great too. I have not tried golden ones, and I did not know that Badger Flame was a name. I am a badger biologist. I don't know if you know that about me, Robin. Um, I did my master's work characterizing reproductive habitat of American badgers. So that I should grow this. But chayagos are so good. Yeah. What was generated by StreamYard? I don't know what you're saying, Verna. What was generated by StreamYard? Desiree says, I'm excited for the mystery gift I'm getting. Oh, good, good. Hopefully it's something good. Amy says, Verna's beats are very encouraging. They are really rooting for her. Good. Steve says, I do my checking account in Excel. I've not had to balance my checkbook in 10 years. I balance daily with Excel. Yeah. So, and what he's talking about is you can set up a formula, and if that whole column has all the same formula, you click into the cell, you kind of click and hold the corner, and you just drag it down, and then unclick, and then all of the things in there have the same formula for everything across. So it's really, really easy. Yeah. Good tip. Oh, what? Oh, okay. Those are sweet potatoes that she did. She hasn't started the beets yet, Brenda says. Yeah, so I figured that out because it seems like I know they have that capability. I just haven't done anything with that because, yeah. But what I was saying is that I can't comment on them, which is interesting. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah. Can anybody else comment on her shorts? Should be able to comment. When you do that, are you able to choose which ones go out, or is they like bleh? I should know this. Robin says Badger Flame is from row 7, bred by a group of chefs and breeders working together to develop the tastier veg. Okay. And Amy's heard of it. Says Badger Flame beets are a unique candy striped orange yellow cylindrical beet developed, or maybe she's Googling, by UW Madison's Irwin Goldman to be eaten raw, offering a mild, sweet, sunshine-like flavor. Interesting. No earthy aftertaste. Interesting. Is there any beets that are like super easy to peel to pickle? I've never tried pickling beets. If I grew enough beets to do that, then I would do that. But I typically grow the beets for the greens. But I love pickled beets, so yeah. Okay. Oh, got it. Amy was doing some fun stuff. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why. Oh, you can choose which ones you can share. I might try that one of these times. People will be like, oh, when did that topic happen? Oh, when did that topic happen? Oh, when did that topic happen? All today. Right? Oh, yeah. Goodness. So yeah, the rabbits are doing good. The ones left. And I did put out, that tractor that I finished. I ran out of screws, which I didn't finish putting on the side panels, and the roof doesn't have enough screws on it either. Has enough to, prevent anything from happening. But I did get new screws, and I actually had a very successful trip to Home Depot last night, where I got enough to make two more tractors, in addition to finishing one that okay. So I made cuts for this last one. I made cuts for another one for some of the wood that I had, and then say, oh, I'll get more wood to finish up this next one. So I now have enough for 3 more tractors. I don't know that I'll need 3 more tractors. I think I would like to work towards retiring the small one, because a small one is it's 8x2. I kind of want that to be like a backup one, but it's fine for a small litter. But it just, I think it's easy to tip over. Like if a predator wanted to tip it over, like that'd be very easy to tip over. And so I want to kind of use that as a fallback on, like, hey, if I need this in the future, I'll use it. But that means I have to that means I have to build some things. Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. Verna says, you can only do 50 a month, even when you pay for StreamYard. I don't pay for it. I use a free version, which is why there's a duck in the corner. Okay, Amy says I simmer to slip skins for beets. It doesn't take that long, does it? Robin says I boil long enough to loosen skins of the beets before I pickle. Love pickled beets too. They're very good. They're very good. And Verna's asking Robin, have you ever tried charring the skins to peel them like you can do for tomatoes? I've never done that for tomatoes. I've roasted tomatoes. I tend to use Okay, I tend to just use everything. I don't seed or peel. And I know you're not supposed to do that for canning. But I actually plan. I actually plan to freeze dry tomato products, I think, going forward, because it is so easy to make a sauce or make tomato paste instead of tomato sauce, or use the powder to make multiple things. But the key that I found, because I have freeze dried fresh tomatoes and tried to use that as you would like a tomato powder to make a tomato paste or make tomato sauce. And you really should cook it first. You should cook it. So my goal for that is going to be to make whatever I'm making, spaghetti sauce or something else or whatever, and then put it in the refrigerator for a few days and then freeze dry it. Because the thing that you don't get with freeze drying that you do get with canning is when canning, the flavors meld. The flavors meld together. So you don't get that with freeze drying because you're taking a product that's just been made and flash, okay, it's here now. Where if you do that with something that has already kind of set in its flavoring, then I think it's going to be a better product. So, and definitely roasting is a good idea for tomatoes if you're going to make something out of it and you have the time. Okay, Robin has not tried that either. Steve read charming. How you charm the skin? Oh my gosh. Aren't you a pretty bee? Aren't you a plump little beet? Mm-hmm. Abella's here. Good evening, everyone. Welcome, Abella. We talked about rabbits at the beginning, and then I talked about a Excel spreadsheet looking at breeding schedules. So that's something you might want to rewatch because I know you're getting into rabbits. How are your rabbits doing? Is the question to Abella. All right. Yeah, depth of flavor. Yeah, I mean, you know what it's like when you make a soup and you let it, and then like, it's always better the next day, right? When you make a soup, it's because the flavors are melding, and it's the same thing when you do canning. I mean, that's why when you pickle, when you can, like when you're actually doing the canning process, not just refrigerator pickles, and you do that, it says like you're not supposed to open it for a while because they're not ready yet. They have to sit and do their thing. And I think that's true for a lot of things. They get better with age to a point, right? Yeah. Jacob says, "I'm heading to bed. Everyone, have a good night. Have a good night, Jacob. And we'll see you next weekend, right? Next weekend, not this weekend. Oh, if you are joining us to make flan on the 15th, it's out of this book. And let me just give you guys ingredients. It's going to be like a dozen eggs, half a gallon of milk, and sugar. That's my over oversimplified version. But let me just give you guys exactly what we need. 283. Where's the numbers? 80. 280. 3. Okay. So if you're making flan with us, it's actually called vanilla flavored caramel custard. It's flan. It says flan too. We are going to need 2 quarts milk, 1 cup sugar, and 1 cup sugar, 1/3 cup water, 6 large eggs, 6 large egg yolks, and 1 teaspoon vanilla. So yeah, a dozen eggs, vanilla, 2 cups sugar, half a gallon milk. That's what you need. And I will get that out soon. And again, that is in that book. So, wait, I was talking too fast? I'm going to send something out, Berna. You need a half a gallon of milk, 2 cups sugar, a dozen eggs, and vanilla. It's going to be 12:30, noon 30 Pacific time. Same time as last time, Berna. All right. Steve's putting some kids to bed. Have to duck out. All right. Well, good having you here. I'm glad you're safe and you have electricity where you are. Did you bring your quail with you? I did not ask this question. Yeah. So on the 15th, that's going to be next, like not this Sunday, but next Sunday, day after Valentine's Day. We will be doing the Cook With Me Live, and that is at 12:30. That's noon 30 Pacific time on Sunday. And what we do, if you guys are new to it or going to join, we have a join button down below, or there's a link in the description of every video. And what we do is take time with each other, and just how you guys see me, I give you the opportunity for me to see you as well. And we can actually talk. We do it on StreamYard here, and we can talk and see each other, which is really, really great, because then you don't have to look up and see the conversation, because we're talking and we're working with our hands and doing all that. Except for, some people will stay in the chat instead. But you also get access to not just the next, time. You also get access to all the previous Cook With Me lives. So if you missed one and you really wanted to make, a certain thing, you really wanted to make ravioli with us, that was a good one. I need to make that again. We did pear butter ricotta on the inside, and then we made the ravioli, and then we also made a garlic cream sauce, a roasted garlic cream sauce. So good. So good. Not ravioli rabbit, ravioli the ravioli. Yeah. All right. Did I slow down enough for you, Berna? Sorry. Desiree says, I need another recipe for breakfast I can do in a rice cooker. Well, I didn't even know you could do anything but rice in a rice cooker. So I don't know. You probably can't do a waffle, because that has a little bloop, bloop, bloop. What about yogurt? Can you make yogurt in your rice cooker like you can in a pressure cooker? I haven't done that yet either. Rice pudding is great for breakfast, Berna says. I wasn't suggesting ravioli for your rice cooker, Desiree. Yeah, make some yogurt. Let us know how it comes out. I haven't done that yet. I know I have a capability in the pressure cooker. And I think it is a button on there. I have the smaller one. I just haven't done it yet. Actually, one of my friends that's local has done it. So I should ask him if there's any tips and tricks Yeah. It has a keep warm setting. I don't know what temperature yogurt has to be at. I know it has to be at a certain temperature for a certain amount of time. Last time you tried it didn't work out well. Okay, well, don't do it again then. Or try it again with the expectation that you might have to use it for something else. Yeah. Cottage cheese is something that I would like to learn how to make because, oh my goodness, it is expensive now. It is expensive. And I'm sure it's super easy to use. I'm sure, is it a rennet? Does anybody make cottage cheese? I don't know if it requires a rennet or lemon juice or what, but I just know it's really, really expensive. I bought one of those, those like large containers at the store, and I didn't even look at the price because I'm like, I'm gonna buy it, I'm gonna use it, and I did not think it was going to cost almost $9. I was already at the register. I'm like, well, okay, but I'm probably not gonna buy it for very often. Yeah. Okay, Berna says keep warm setting doesn't always work for yogurt. You need a certain temp. That's what I thought, but I don't remember. I don't know anything about like what temp it needs to do. There's a lemon juice recipe. There's probably that's what I was thinking because rennet is an acidifier. I don't know what else it is. I think it's just an acidifier. Yeah, exactly. So acid is what you need, or you can use rennet. So that works. Well, milk is a little cheaper than cottage cheese. So I'm curious, like how much cottage cheese does a gallon of milk make? Anyway, Desiree says I need to make some cheese. I have never made cheese. I have always want to. I always plan to, and then it doesn't happen. It falls through. Yeah. Robin says Muddy Puddles Farm just did a cottage cheese. She is trying to go 100% eating off her land. I know, it's not incredible for 1 year, so she's getting creative. I should look that up. She's in the UK. Yeah. Um, Muddy Puddle Farm. Yeah. So that's something I definitely need to look at and all that. A half gallon worth? Well, how much is those containers? I think it's 16. Why do I think it's 16 cups? I have the container over there. I should just go get it. Anyway, but still, I don't know. A gallon of good milk. I get the Umpqua milk. It is worth the extra $1 if you can afford it. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so that's something that you can totally make different things. Yeah, I haven't made cheese. We did try on one of the Cook With Me lives. We did try to make mozzarella sticks, and all of us totally failed. But we failed together. It was hilarious. And we still ate it, and it was fine. It was just not a mozzarella stick. I think we were supposed to freeze them. Whatever instructions I got had some missing steps, I think. But that's something we do. Sometimes it's fun because something happens and it's not what was supposed to happen, but it's okay. Yeah. Like the time PJ went to shake up her whipping cream and forgot the cap was off. That was hilarious. Yeah. Oh, a gallon of milk makes 3 to 5 cups cottage cheese. That's probably not cheaper then. Interesting. If I had Twitch, Desiree would definitely sub. I get a free sub once a month on there. I don't know anything about Twitch. I don't know anything about a lot of them. There's a lot of platforms now. There's a lot of platforms, and I know about YouTube. And I wish I had more time to do things non-work related, but I do work full time, so you gotta squeeze things in when you can, and like right now it's starting to get lighter in the afternoons and evenings, but it's still getting things done outside, trying to do things outside in the daylight is a little bit interesting. So, yeah. Well, the kitty cats haven't meowed or yowled in a while, so I guess they're okay. They were just sitting out on the bench in the front. I don't know. You don't know either, Anime? Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. So, do we have any questions or comments about how something's working or not working, or you want to tap into the hive mind here? That would be good. All right. Verna says 1 gallon of milk generally yields approximately 3 to 5 cups of homemade cottage cheese. Final yield depends on how long the curds are allowed to drain and how much cream is added back for texture. Okay. Yeah. I mean, if I had access to a cow, then that would be fine. But I'm not planning on getting a milking cow. That is something I do not want the time uh the time, what do we call it, commitment, because if you're a couple hours late to feed the rabbits, they're okay. If you're a couple hours late to milk a cow or a goat, as Verna says, that's that's a different thing. Yeah, it has nothing to do with the size, Desiree. It has everything to do with the timeliness of having to do things when it needs to be done. um, I like the flexibility of the animals that I have, and you know they're fine. um, but if somebody else wanted to have a cow, we might be able to work out some pasture situation here. Pay me in milk, you know. Anyway, yeah, there are dairy options out there. Goat, cow, camel. I'm not getting a camel, guys. It's not happening. Um, if I really needed to, I could try to milk a rabbit. I'm not going to, guys. It's not happening. Not happening. Yeah, I've had that idea, Verna, for a long time. And when I was looking for property, I was I was looking for good property, but like ideally I wanted a property with two houses, one like far away from each other. This house does have two houses, but they're far enough away from each other, but it needs a lot of help, and in order for that to happen, I need more money to fix that up. But and then also it'd be cool to have like that house have an allocation for an area in pasture that would have like they could have a dairy cow, and then part of their rent would be in milk or cheese or something. So like that was kind of like, oh, that would be ideal. um right now the house that's up the hill is it needs a lot of help. It's not necessarily all that livable right now. It does have water. It does have electricity. Well, once electricity is hooked up again to it, but it does not. Insulation is an issue. Heating is only by wood. Yeah, so there's lots of stuff that needs to happen up there, but that will have to wait for money. Camel milk is salty, Verna says. Have you had it or have you heard of it? I've never had it. Yep. So Desiree, you are correct. Calf shearing is a thing that reduces the need for milking all the time. That is true. But as Verna is saying, after the babies wean, you will need to milk. Yep. Hey Verna, your typing's better than Tommy's was. I guess he was talking to text, so maybe that's his talking that was going on. Oh goodness. You're good. You're good. Yeah, so that was my ideal plan. My ideal plan would have more pasture than I have here. Most of my land is forested, which is good. It's fine. It's good. I enjoy it. But it would be nice to kind of have that capability. So yeah. Right. Okay. So Desiree is saying that you're only going to get the milk when the calf is with the mom, and then once it's weaned, that you would just dry them off. You could do that. You wouldn't have milk all the time that way. I mean, you have to have, another mom alternate or something. But yeah. Yeah, Verna, yeah, that would defeat the purpose of a dairy animal. I mean, if that was in your plan, it'd be fine. But if that's not your plan, then yeah. Yeah, people do that. In any case, that's not going to be in my future unless somebody else is going to do the management of that animal. And I'm fine with that. Yeah. Yeah, see, some people wean and dry them at the same time, NMA says, and then some people keep them in milk. And yep, yep. Yeah, so what Robin was talking about was someone in the UK that's living off what she can grow and what she can barter for the next year is the goal. And I think that's pretty darn cool. I think you can do that pretty easily if you have established gardens and established fruit trees and established food, sources. Um, if you have a bunch of annual stuff, it becomes more work, but still doable. And I know on my old property where I did have a very established edible landscaping, I'm going to call it. It's like food forest / edible landscaping. It definitely, if I didn't eat sugar and I didn't eat grain, are those only things, and I didn't eat dairy, I could live off that space. Now, sweet tooth, definitely had that. Um, enjoy milk, enjoy these other things, but I definitely could have lived off of that property. Now, I would have had I would have been able to I would not have been able to feed my animals from that property. So it's not like a full circle. I did bag feed, for the quail and the chickens and the rabbits, and I do that now. But I would not be able to feed them on that property. Here, I'm more able to feed the rabbits, and if something did happen, I would be able to feed. I would have them out on pasture all the time, and hopefully by then I'd have a better mix in the pasture, the higher protein level. Um, yeah, space and breeding, exactly. Yeah. Um, so that's something that is is really interesting to think about. And you really don't need dairy, and you really don't need sugar. I mean, I'm doing syrup that gets a little bit of sugar. I will be doing bees that gets more of the sugar. So you don't need outside sugar, except for you might need to get outside sugar to feed your bees in the winter. But you don't necessarily need all of that outside input for certain things. And um, yeah, yeah. Desiree's asking, will you grow sugarcane? I grew sugarcane in my Gilroy place. I'm not planning on doing it here. I don't know what the coldest it can grow at is, if it's here okay here or not. I'm not planning on it. Sugarcane to me is fine. It's nice, but in order to juice it, you have to have a special juicer. You can't just put it in a regular juicer. It's too hard. So the how you use it is what is the problem that would need to be solved for me. Because you have to peel it and then juice it, and in a particular juicer. So yeah, I'm in Oregon. Yeah, I moved from California to Oregon a year and a half ago, Desiree. I'm in Southern Oregon. So Like last year there was snow on the ground here at this time. This year there isn't. But yeah, so that is something that I think is very cool to grow. It's a very interesting plant. You can grow it from cutting. So if you go to a Mexican or Asian market and you see the little pieces of sugarcane, as long as it has a node on it, preferably two nodes, um, those are the growing parts. So roots and shoots can come from there, and you just put it just under the soil or just at the soil level, horizontally, and that's how I grew mine. So you can do that and have it grow from something you have in the store. So yeah, and it can probably be done in containers. It had pretty good sized roots. Um, yeah, yep. So yeah, I'm in Douglas County, Oregon, which is in the wetter part of the state, but not the wettest part of the state, as I understand it. Yeah. Yeah, you can grow it in containers, I'm pretty sure. I'm just not sure, like, long term, if that's something that people do. I mean, big container, small container, what's the size of your container? I guess that matters. But yeah, yeah. So yeah, sugarcane is something that can grow abundantly in some places, and it can also kind of get out of control in some places too. So yeah, but it's not something I plan on growing here. If I'm given a piece from someone, I'll try it, but it's not something I'm planning on doing. And the reasoning is, again, how do you process it? How do you get it to a point that you want to eat it? Now you could just peel it, cut off the peel and like suck on it or try and bite, but that's not the way I would want to use it. Yeah. And sugarcane is actually pretty good for you in the non hugely processed way, right? So sugarcane juice has sugar in the juice, but it has other things too. And it's a lot less concentrated than just plain old like white sugar. So yeah. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna get off of here, and thank you guys so much for coming. And you could boil it. I don't know how that works, but I encourage you to plant it if you want to, and try it, and then let us know how that goes. Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna head out. If you guys want to join the Friends of Sow and Tare Facebook group, that'd be awesome. If you are already a member, we do have a members only Facebook group, and that is what is it? I don't even remember what the name is. Let me look real quick and see what the name is so I can tell you guys. I think it's just Sow and Tare, and then yeah, it's Katrina's Kits, and then in parentheses Sow and Tare. And um that one you do have to be a member. And I'm trying to reach all the members because not all the members are in that, but I don't have every member's Facebook, and probably not everybody has the Facebook. But what we do on there is we can talk different things about what happened on the Cook With Me Live. We can do all that. I do reminders there, and then also after we do the Cook With Me Live, I post, and this just started last time. I post the recipes. So the recipes aren't posted anywhere because I want you to experience it with me and have that experience together. And then after the fact, it can be added up to that that Facebook group. So that is something that we started just recently. So yeah, it's fun. And Robin says, hit the like button on the way out. Thank you for coming. Thank you for that. And yeah, have a wonderful, wonderful night, guys. And we will see you on Monday, 6 p.m. Pacific time. And we'll see you soon. All right. Thanks for coming and have a wonderful, wonderful day.